Ladies and gentlemen, boys and the girls, welcome to another exciting episode of Collecting Weekly Live Unboxing. My name is Zach, joined as always by Lane the Legend Kramer. Lane, how are you doing today?
Doing okay.
Wow, what the hell? There we go. What do we got today, Lane?
Well,
Sorry.
I guess in some ways, like some people, especially OT fans, would be celebratory because tonight we're going to be looking at a figure in some form or fashion that we were waiting how many years to actually see pop up?
Many moons.
Yeah, Han Solo himself. Although it's funny is he's available in stock right now. If there was one guy I did not think would actually make it there, it was him. But here we have Return, maybe because it's not Bespin Han or Empire Han, which is what a lot, probably maybe the most sought after one. But here we have Han Solo from my favorite Star Wars movie of all time, Return of the Jedi. So we are in for some OT figure goodiness tonight. I'm super excited with this figure. Now, to be fair, Han Solo is not my favorite of the main, like OT main characters. He's probably 3 out of 3 of the main ones. Luke Skywalker, always been my favorite character, like of the OT. He is my favorite character. Through all the novels, he was my favorite character. Like Luke Skywalker, Jedi, favorite character. Then was Princess Leia, and then was Han Solo. However, I do think I eventually needed a representation of him actually in the actual, some form of fashion. You can't have a Star Wars Hot Toy collection without having some representation of Han Solo at some point. So anyway, hey, thanks for joining us, guys. Already seen Toy Mafia. I had saw was, of course, being the Emoji King and saying hello. We've also got King Dingling, which is still one of the best names ever. And then we got Star Crash. Thanks for joining us as well. Mafia, thanks for saying hello as well to the Zach Man and me. Much appreciated. Uh-oh, where were you wrestling with there, sir?
Oh, nothing. I just wanted to... I have a package that came 2 days ago, but I just want to make sure it's actually in the box.
Oh, yeah. I can see why that'd be important. But anyway, so here we have Han Solo, Return of the Jedi. Now, this is actually my first figure from Return of the Jedi, so I'm going to guess this is probably matching up somewhat with other figures from, that they had used would be similar coloring and everything for around the cigar box band. So here we've got the figure himself in his coat from Return of the Jedi, and then we have him here in more of the classic, pose from after with Chewbacca when he was surprising the Imperial forces that came out of the bunker. So that's cool. 2 of the poses, I'm sure these are 2 poses a lot of people will stick them in. Then we also then have here on the side, which, this I found interesting because they don't very often show the bases mixed in with the pictures, but here with the mini diorama base that he comes with, they have him here with his foot up on the log and everything. Although I'm kind of wondering where is maybe the stand to help stand him up here like this. But anyway, he's looking really good, shows off the figure. Now, I will admit, I did already a little open this up because so that people would not have to watch me struggle quite as much. The plastic from his boots and his hands and everything have been removed already. So here we have another action pose with him. One thing I know they made a big thing to point out, we'll take a look at here too, is the new hands that they had for this Han Solo. With the detail and everything for him. But here we've got action pose, rebel insignia. Looks pretty decent. And then we open it up to the figure himself here. And we'll spend a little bit more time since he actually comes with a diorama base and they're part of the pieces and everything. Because if you didn't have the diorama base and some of the pieces that come with that, he doesn't actually come with very much. But you can see Han here. You got the other accessories, and I'm going to guess underneath here or something is probably going to be the jacket or somewhere mixed in here. Yeah, kind of attached to the side here. So first off, They've got it attached not very well in the box here. Here we're going to have Here we're going to have Han's jacket. Now, I have heard mixed things on this, actually, with the tailoring and everything on it. But we'll see once we get it out here a little bit later how that is looking and everything. But they kind of just had it attached to the side here, not packaged, I think, particularly great. But then again, for capes, other stuff like that, that's nothing new for Hot Toys, unfortunately. So now I'm going to pull this out. We got one less thing over here. Okay, so let's get this plastic off here and get a little bit of a look at our character himself. So obviously you see here, minus the cape, you've got all in one tray. You have the figure, and then you have all the accessories. That looks interesting. I have this in here. So the most boring thing that we're not going to care about at all, because we won't be using that, is obviously the little stupid tool that's used for the adjusting the eyes, which you can just use your own hands at this point. As you can see, some of the plastic, not all the plastic was removed, but I just removed it from the hands and the legs. Those are usually the problem ones. So if you're unaware, with this particular figure, this hand does come with a diorama kind of mini base. It's not a full huge diorama, some other bases and stuff we've seen, but it comes with some pieces you can lay on it, or that'll cover spots where you would normally plug in, like for attaching the crotch grabber or something. So here we've got a log that comes with it. They do a pretty nice job, as you can see here, making there's cracks and everything in the bark. The paints and stuff are pretty good on it. Has pretty good detail to it. I mean, it is just a tree trunk, so I mean, I'm not expecting to be blown away by it or anything. Let's see here. We've got the replacement. Now, what is this? I am not sure exactly what these are supposed to be for, but you've got these two little attachments here. And then replacement for the joints. Then we've got two rocks that you can stick on, and you can kind of see here where they'll attach in and cover. And then we get to the hands. Now, this is supposed to be one of the big things with this, is that in the advertising and everything, they were showing off new hands that they had done for this Han Solo. And I do have to say, I do like the paintwork on them. They look pretty nice and detailed. They're not kind of looking overly big like the T-1000 hands kind of looked on him. I'm going to be interested to know, anybody in the chat, or any of you guys, have you gotten Han yourself? Are you considering picking him up as part of your collection? But, now that he's in stock,
Gary just got him last week, he said.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. I mean, one thing you can consider, if you've been thinking about this guy, now that he's in stock, one of those sideshow contests you can enter, you get a $25 off coupon. You probably can, I'm going to guess you probably can use that on him. Nice. Or with that with some points or something. He is obviously a little bit more expensive, $290, but you could probably get him down for, maybe if you have $10, even if you just entered, couple of, got the plus $10 bonus and stuff like that for their upcoming two events, and a week from Friday and then next month. You got that, and then entered one of the contests, got a $20 or $25 coupon. You can apply those towards him. They're $35 off, $255 for shipping and tax.
It's good math.
Mm-hmm. So he's got one of his poses. It's just something to think about sometimes. I think right now we may have noticed that some of these figures are starting to come in stock. So unless they
rather
go
than
out
Solo.
relatively early, or even some are magically coming back like Shuri or something, or we had Kenobi come back, even though it was, was a while later. We're starting to see those figures come back. One of his trigger hands. So we're starting to see, if you show a little bit of patience, you might be able to get where you can start getting some just natural discount on some of these figures with some of their usual, almost weekly offers and stuff. That Droidica, I think that one would be, pretty cool. One thing I'm looking at, like I'm kind of considering, and Tariff, yes. Hey OG fan, thanks for joining us tonight. That's awesome. I'm like, I so far what I saw, like I purposely tried not to look at the Han figure very much because I would just like literally just get that plastic off and then I wanted to have. So this is kind of an interesting pose hand here. I'm not sure exact. I guess this is a blaster hand. It looks a little with the thumb there up, kind of exaggerated a little bit, but the paintwork and everything. And I will say, OG fan, if you're getting this if you want to stick his blaster, which I think most of us are going to put his blaster in his hand, the fingers move pretty easily, so you shouldn't have to use any items. Now, here's the bliss thing: the Blastech Hands iconic blaster. We can see here some very nice paintwork done up on it. I will say, and you can probably see it, the silver and everything that they have for the barrel really does like stand out like really nicely. They did a nice job with that. Okay, now to Han himself. Now I will say, I was looking forward to doing this guy. I did kind of wonder, should I maybe have given it like, I don't know, like a week or something for getting him, because I did just unbox Darth Maul last week, and that figure I absolutely love. Dude, I fiddled with that figure for at least like an hour and a half, 2 hours, like last Tuesday after we had him, because I was just messing around with him with all this stuff. Yeah. And that figure, I'm not the hugest Darth Maul fan, but I just really enjoyed what they did with that figure. Like he to me was one of the most posable, and just with both the head sculpts. Okay, before we get into hand here, the last thing we're going to do is I am going to show you the jacket here real quick. We'll probably put this on him. Yeah, I can see what they mean here a little bit by the material for the jacket. Kind of feels a little meh. But okay, so here's the jacket itself. So you'll see they've got some of like the pockets and everything here. Does open up. So you can, I guess in theory, could stick something in there. Material feels okay. I do think they got the patterns down for kind of the camouflage there a little bit. Looks like they got it decently. But I don't know. Like if I had to compare it to like, say the robe that came with, now I know kind of different things a little bit, but the robe for Maul last week, I think I liked how the Maul, and I didn't love the Maul. I think I liked how that one felt a little bit better in hand. So here, I have to pull this off. Now we're going to take a look. Here's Han Solo himself in all his glory. Now, the one thing I will guess you say already, the one thing that will always make me crazy, leather boots. That is going to always be the only problem, is these stupid leather boots. I will say, I don't understand why they can't just do this as sculpted, especially because...
Really? You want sculpted boots?
I think sculpted boots would work better.
It's crazy work, bro.
Well, unless they're going to do leather or some other better material, but not leather.
I would rather
these disintegrate.
leather.
Yeah, I mean, if they did leather, that is what I would probably prefer the most. But you can see here, like, just because I had to kind of manipulate the feet here a little bit, just so I could get the plastic off, I had to, kind of bend them at different things to finally get it off. And I hate how they look. Now, it does, I think, give them a little bit more of a, like, kind of lived in look and stuff. But
Mhm.
I hate pleather. I hate pleather boots or any of that stuff. I can't stand it. Now, one thing I did notice, which out of the box here, is the belt on my hand came loose.
Uh,
So I don't know how it was that way right out of the box. So here I'm gonna oops. Here we go. One of the removable items. But give me a second here, guys. Let's get this off of him. Probably should have removed this too, but like I said, I didn't want to mess around with too much of this before getting kind of the first unboxing. But so yeah, I did notice this right off the bat was loose. So this is not the first best impression to get, especially because this does not.
while you're working on that, I got this in today.
Oh, what is that?
It's the Black Series Ronin and what's his name? I know the box has his name incorrect. It's B5D56. It's a really cool set. Has this really nice diorama thing. I may actually buy a second one of these so I can display it in the box.
Oh.
Really cool. I gotta put the packaging back in there. Although mine is missing, I guess I didn't realize it from the listing, but it was also a really cheap listing. But it's missing one of the, there's like almost like the Hot Toy sleeve lane, like that, you know, that, almost like the cigar wrapper that goes around the perimeter of the box.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was missing that, which I didn't know, but it was also not, like the seller, didn't hide it. I just didn't notice it in the photos. So that's on me. But let's put this in. I think I may buy a second one of these because they're not too expensive on Amazon right now.
Okay. Gotta adjust there. But yeah, that's not a good first impression where it's become discombobulated out of the box. Okay. So we got him adjusted here now so we can see kind of the full thing. So right here we've got Han himself, all plastic off,
That's
all
so
that stuff.
cool. I'm gonna have to put this on a shelf. That's really cool.
And that just came?
Well, it came yesterday, but I just opened it today. But the figures, so they actually released the Ronin as a single pack, and I actually hope they re-release the droid also, but this is the droid.
Oh, that's cool.
But the reason why I hope they re-release them, here, let me show you. So this is the exclusive that I just opened, and it's like got that gray tone, like the episode, and then the saber's red. And it
Was that like an SD? Was that like an SDCC?
No, it was Celebration from last year, the Black Series.
Oh, gotcha.
And then,
or you mean earlier this year?
No, I think it was from last year.
Well, because Celebration was this year. Or do you mean 2023?
I don't think that was.
There are 2 years in between. Because Celebration, remember, was back when we got like the Sith Apprentice back in April. And there's like 2 years in between.
Was that Celebration? Hang on, I gotta Google this. when is this? Maybe it's I thought it was.
It might. Well, I know SDCC. I thought it was they had like that Black Series, you know, the Anakin Obi-Wan duel. Does
anyone know the answer to this question? What this is exclusive to? Actually, now it says Celebration exclusive. Oh, I guess this was from April of this year.
Yeah. Okay.
That makes sense. So maybe this isn't that old. Okay, yeah, Celebration Japan. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So back in April.
Yeah, so yeah, Dean, this one has soft goods for the cloak.
That's cool.
It's well, not the interior cloak like this part here,
Yeah.
but most of it is soft goods and it's wired and it's really nice. But anyway, so Hasbro just released the Ronin as a single pack, but if you look at the single pack figure, it's different because it's all that like rubber, which is really nice. I actually prefer it this way, but
Hmm.
his face is also um I would say it's a more muted flesh tone. It's not like a really vibrant flesh tone compared to the original, which is like that grayish tone. I may pick up a second one of these gray ones. I really like this, and I think it's on sale on Amazon right now. But I paid a really good price. I paid like 45 ship for my copy, but it was missing. I guess that was a deal because it was missing that little cigar cover. But this figure has been like my desk figure for the whole week, and I've been reading the
Nice.
book. It's awesome. I almost just want to have a second one of these too, just so I can have two. I love it so much. Sorry,
So here we've got Han himself. Now we'll do a close up here of the actual head sculpt, and I know that's one of the big things. So this is his Return the Jedi appearance. The suit here is pretty good. The jacket, everything, tailoring seems pretty nice overall. This is also pleather, the entire like holster. I mean, shock and amaze. Like, um, what I was having to fight with, guys, was that on the back here, that there's a hook here that attaches on the backside of the belt, and that had come undone like in the box. So QC kind of flub. I guess nothing major. I got it reattached. Here you can see like the back pouches stuff on his jacket. Really nice detail there. So you can kind of see these are his relaxed hands. They did a nice job with that.
I think what you were removing earlier, that little cylinder on his belt, that's his comm link. I thought.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's detachable,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, correct. It's like a little metal spring.
yeah,
Damn,
but
I'm so tempted to get a second Ronin, dude. It's not a bad price. I gotta really think about this. I really gotta think about this. Maybe when I get
it just attaches there. But here's the big thing. If they had the old ball joint next, I would remove the head here so we could actually see that. But because it's this really awful, these now I believe it's supposed to be. No, maybe not this one. Need to take a look for. I think this. They look at the instructions, but I believe. Okay. So here's Han himself. So the head sculpt, I definitely see Harrison Ford in here. It's definitely looking better, I think, in person for actually looking like him. I still don't love kind of, even though I know I think it's fairly accurate to how he was looking. The indentations kind of around his forehead and stuff when his forehead is wrinkling up a little bit still looks a little weird to me. But it could be being in plastic form versus the person's actual forehead, in the movie. But I definitely think I see Ford, but I think this is going to be one of those things where, like, if you catch it, kind of like side glance or something like that, you're going to see it a little bit better for the likeness.
Yeah.
I wish I had the old man Indy, even though I know it's obviously much, much later in life, Harrison Ford, where I could kind of see the comparison. Now, he does have, I still have the neck plastic on here. I often will leave that on them other than me because, I have to remove this. You guys know I don't like fooling around with these head sculpts. Now, for his actual holster here, let's see how this one goes. I can definitely say I don't think this one holsters in very well. I think. Yes. So he does come obviously with the usual Hot Toys instructions. So that locked in place. Okay, so you do have to remove the head of that. So it should just slide into place. As soon as I get this holstered, guys, I'll show you the diorama base. Okay, so this goes into right about.
What are you trying to do?
Holstered in place here, but it does quite. Yeah, this one really does not like to holster in there too much. I would probably, this one definitely the blaster doesn't like the holster very well into there. So I would be careful, at least with mine here. I mean, I was going to probably have him wielding the blaster. I mean, he doesn't really have a lot of other things to switch out. So, he's going to be probably more something you're going to have something in his hand, wielding a blaster or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess we've got a little bit more to work with here. So I'm going to move him out of the way here for the moment. With his blaster hands here in a second. So here is the diorama base itself. So they're using, it is kind of interesting how they're using kind of, the more modern circular bases that they've been using. And then you've got some plant life here from Endor Moon. And then you've got these holes here so that you can stick different. Where we go. So depending on how you want to pose Han, you can stick it here. Or you can stick there. Or if you don't want to use any of them, this is then you have the rocks you can stick in on here.
I think the Ronin with R5D. Yeah, it's from Visions. Yeah, it's a good price because I paid 50 ship, but I know this guy probably paid at least 10, 12 bucks to ship this thing because the box was pretty big. Yeah, he definitely lost money because the figure itself is like 70 bucks.
Ooh, ouch.
For the 2-pack, rather. The single pack is just a regular Black Series price. Although this droid is annoying me a little bit.
Yeah, I think this one goes there. Did I show appropriately which box rock goes? Then you can have that kind of set up or move this as you need for if you're putting hand on it. The base itself, as you can see, paints here are pretty good. Got kind of the forest, moon, ground here and everything. I think it's a cool little thing. I don't know if it was completely necessary, but I'm glad they kind of gave something with this. Now, let's see here. So,
Thank God.
got blaster hand. Oh no.
Oh, Lane, what's happening, bro? Did it
I
break?
just- Yep.
Oh my gosh. Did it like snap or did it just come unglued? It might be unglued.
I barely put anything just as I was getting the finger slipped into place. Well, that is unfortunate.
I'd be down to try a triple dimmer, honestly.
Okay, well, for right now, deal with that later. Probably should have removed the hand, then attached this, but
We live and we learn, bro.
there we go. Okay. So here you can see Han Solo done up with his jacket. Comes in around him. So let's see here now. We can get oh boy, belt came undone again. Great.
Damn, now I want a triple dipper at Chili's, bro.
Now his belt, I mean, it definitely does not want to stay like it's supposed to.
That's just a little button on the back. Or is it Velcro?
Yeah, there. It's a little of things locked in place. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. Well, taking care of my Butterfingery. Hold on one here a second, guys. We'll give you a closer look. It's not. I would definitely F around with this.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Rob says, thanks for sharing, Lane. You picked some of the best pieces. What a guy. What a guy. You're on mute, Lane. Unless you're intentionally on mute.
Whoops, there. Yeah. So I do. My only negatives to this: leather boots. This the belts come on done again. I can see it kind of drooping a little bit.
Yeah.
Then the head sculpt I think came out good though. I think if you have it from like kind of a side view or something, I think you get Harrison a little bit more, like not just like head on, but if you're like this kind of angle or if you have his eyes done up a little bit. I think the chest and the pants and everything came out really good. Tailoring on those is nice. Kind of see here the blaster itself, paint work and everything is good. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, this should be having this piece attached. But overall, solid figure. Nothing too much to complain about. I will probably say I like how the Darth Maul came out a little bit better. But that one I think probably just has a little bit more posability than this Han. But overall, though, it's a solid. If you guys are considering picking this one up, I definitely think this would be a good choice for picking up. Just I guess OG fan, when you get yours in, I would definitely say maybe check the backside of the belt. Just to check to make sure the belt attachment is, because this one's come off for me undone like 3 times. I may hit up Sideshow about this because it's kind of a pain in the butt with something like that. Anyway, I'm sorry. You guys are like barely being able to see me, which I know I'm such a pretty thing to look at. Anyway, though, solid figure. I probably would give this one, maybe 8.4 out of 10. So still definitely a B.
Really?
Yeah.
With all that, 8.4 out of 10?
Yeah, I'm hard to get.
4.8 out of 10, bro.
4.8.
That was horrible. You looked so angry doing that whole thing. Scared me. Scared.
I'm sorry, I'm a scary individual.
Anyways,
right.
Thank you guys for watching. We got the main show tomorrow at 8:30. Honestly, there's not a lot to talk about, so I'm not saying that we're gonna start canceling episodes, but I kind of feel bad that people show up and it's just like what do we even say today? Like, there's nothing.
Well,
again.
you don't know what's going to get announced or anything like that.
I mean, yeah, that's true, but I'm just saying, like, last week was like literally nothing for news. I felt bad.
Yeah, right now, I mean, all you have is really you have the Joker, the comic Joker, and
talk about that. I'm sick of that character, Lane.
He's one of my favorite comic characters. I mean, maybe it's time to pull out the crystal ball, go 6-scale Cantina route a little bit, and see what you predict for the future.
That's his thing. I don't do predictions.
Well, hey, it is kind of surprising we've gone a couple months without any Star Wars announcements, though.
Yeah.
But hey, guys, thank you very much for joining us again. Probably Hot Toys Hotline. I'll see you guys tomorrow night on. We'll see. But anyway, though, you guys have a great evening and thanks for joining us. Hopefully, this was a nice end to the first day of the work week. Anyway, have a good one.
Bye.